on channel BSc Classes Studies. Myself Professor Khorde Rishikesh and a teacher or assistant professor in botany subject working in Department of Botany SM Joshi College Hadapsar, which is belonging to the parent institute Raya Shikshan Samsthas. My college is also affiliated to the Savitribai Phule Pune University, and here on screen you can see the syllabus of FY BSc Botany. Paper 1 and paper 2 wise. Semester 1 and semester 2 are two sections in this syllabus. So in this video we will be discussing about the semester 1, paper number 1, and especially about lichen study. Especially the paper 1 is designed in such a way that it contains 2 credits. Each credit contains 15 lectures. So friends, in this paper we will be studying about lichens. As I have mentioned here, the lichen chapter contains 4 points which we are going to discuss in 2 lectures. So in this lichen study, the first point is an introduction point. The second point is general characters of lichen. And third point is nature of association of forms in lichen. Generally, we study about crustose lichen, fructose lichen and foliose lichen. What are these different forms? We will discuss them in detail, so don't worry about that. And fourth point is utilization of lichen. So we will be discussing one by one in the detail, so it will be easy for you to understand. आपण एक एक पॉइंट घेणार आहे, त्याप्रमाणे तुम्हाला ते समजायला पण सोपं जाईल. सो आपण पहिल्या पॉइंटला सुरुवात करू. तर स्क्रीन वरती तुम्हाला दिसत असेल तर पहिला पॉइंट मी आता घेतलेला आहे, दॅट इज an introduction to lichens. So the photograph behind me showing the beautiful picture of lichen. So this lichen definitely not looking like plant. We are studying lichen in botany, but these lichens do not show any typical character which occur in plant. Typical character means you will not find any kind of flower or root or fruit system or leaf stem system in this lichen. So why? So anyone would wonder, कुणाला प्रश्न पडेल की आपण लायकेनचा अभ्यास बॉटनी मध्ये का करतोय जर ते झाडासारखे दिसत नाही तर. So there are various reasons behind this. So there is a reason, a scientific reason. When we look at our kingdom system, here I have shown you a diagram of kingdom system where you will find at the bottom of kingdom system there is one kingdom which is known as kingdom Monera, which includes all prokaryotic organisms. This is the only one kingdom where you will find prokaryotic organisms, for example bacteria. म्हणजे prokaryotic organisms चा एक kingdom आहे separate, तो Monera, and rest of the other 4 kingdoms here in diagram I have shown belonging to the eukaryotes, namely the kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Animalia and kingdom Plantae. So as a botany student, as a botanyचं लेक्चर चालू आहे म्हणून आपली ड्युटी आहे की बॉटनीच्या किंगडम बद्दल आपल्याला इलॅबोरेशन बघायचंय, बॉटनीच्या किंगडमचं जास्त माहिती करायची आहे. We are going to study detail about botany kingdom. Here I have shown the elaboration of botany kingdom where you will find in Plantae kingdom lower plants and higher plants. So the lower and higher plants are not the categories which are given to the plant. Means lower plants means not a bad plant or higher plant means not a rich plant. Lower and higher on the basis of their body organization. In lower plants you will find there are 3 subclasses present. So the first is Thallophyte, second one is Bryophyte and third one is Pteridophyte. And in case of higher plants you will find a Gymnosperm and Angiosperm types of subclasses. So in this Thallophyte, Bryophyte, Pteridophyte, Gymnosperm and Angiosperm, the Thallophyte includes algae, fungi and lichens. So there are the distinction, and if you notice or observe your syllabus carefully friends, you will find in first semester you have algae, fungi and lichen and bryophyte also. So these 4 points will be covered in first semester of paper 1. And if you look at the second semester paper 1, you will notice the remaining Pteridophyte, Gymnosperm and Angiosperm. This Angiosperm again shows 2 different classes, dipod and monopod. So overall your syllabus is designed in such a way that all these points will be covered by studying this syllabus. So we reached up to here. So these lichens are belonging to the thallophytes. If you notice that thallophyte which contain algae, fungi and lichen. So now we have reached up to the topic which is a lichen. So these lichens are shown in this screen behind me. This lichen shows various forms of colors. They are very beautiful in nature. So this lichens occurs in two forms, microlichen and macrolichens. It doesn't mean that microlichens requires microscope to be observed and macrolichens requires or can be observed by naked eyes. They are named on the basis of the forms which they show in the nature. So त्यांचा आकारावरून त्यांना नाव दिलेली आहेत. मायक्रोलायकेन साठी मायक्रोस्कोपच घेतला पाहिजे असा काही प्रकार नाही. ते लायकेन वेगवेगळे कलर दाखवतात आणि आपल्याला पाहून विश्वास नाही बसणार की एवढ्या वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे लायकेन्स आहेत. लायकेन एक इंडिकेटर आहे. आपण ते त्याचा इकॉनॉमिक इम्पॉर्टन्स मध्ये बघू की जिथं प्रदूषण नाही तिथं लायकेन तुम्हाला बघायला भेटते. तुमच्या शहरामध्ये तुम्हाला लायकेन सापडणार नाही, अनफॉर्च्युनेटली. सो द लायकेन्स डोंट प्रोड्युसेस or contain any kind of roots, although we are studying them in plant kingdom, but they don't have any kind of root. In spite of that, they produce their own food material. So this is very interesting. If anybody want to visit the place where lichen grows, the lichen occurs on diverse environmental conditions, such as in desert condition, higher altitude conditions. The lichen can occupy any surface on this earth. So behind me I have shown you the picture of earth, and as a geography or common sense we have shown a distinction between the region on this earth. So the end of the polar region of the earth, which is south and north pole, and the middle line on earth which is known as an equator. The region between polar region and the equator region is known as tropical region. So we have two tropical regions, and the region between the polar region and tropical region is known as temperate region. So the lichens like to grow in temperate region. So I have shown this image to make you understand and make you remember about the location on earth and where lichen generally occurs. In many competitive exams, these types of questions may asked by them where the lichen generally grows, and option may be given polar, temperate, tropical and equator. So you can guess. So it is estimated that out of overall earth surface, 6% on earth is occupied by these lichens, which is very interesting. And please note down this. Keep your notebook and pen while you watch these videos, because these videos give you an information. You may understand it, but in order to remember things, you need to write down those things. There are 20 different types of species of lichens are discovered up till by human being. So 20,000 different types of species. Out of them, I would like to ask you a question. Please find out how many different types of species are occurred in India and mention in comment section. If you examine lichens very carefully, you will be surprised by observing that lichen is not a single organism. Actually, it is a system where two organisms are living together. They live together. So whenever two organisms live together, the terminology is given to that is a symbiosis. So when two organisms live together, it is symbiosis while living together. If both of the partners are getting benefit, then it is called as mutualistic symbiosis behavior or mutualistic symbiosis association. And if suppose one partner is getting benefit and other partner is getting harm, then that relationship is known as parasitism. And suppose one partner is getting benefit and other partner is having no effect on it. Suppose it may happen that while living together, one partner is getting benefit and other partner is not getting any kind of effect, neither harm nor profit, then that type of association of symbiosis is known as commensalism. And if two partners are living together and none of them getting benefit or none of them getting harm, then that is known as amencilism. Then प्रश्न असा पडेल की मग एकत्र कशाला राहते, जर तुम्हाला फायदा पण होत नाही तोटा पण होत नाही. बट इन नेचर there are sort of associations which shows commensalism, amencilism, mutualism and parasitism type of or association between organisms. Okay, the lichen is an example. Here we are studying about lichen. So lichen belonging to the mutualistic type of symbiosis association between whom? So two organisms are living in lichen system are namely the algae, or some people call it as algae, and fungi. The algal partner is known as phycobiont and fungal partner is known as mycobiont. So note down these points and remember, when two species exist together in an environment, so whenever two different species comes together and coexist together, the terminology is given to that. The community level expression can be seen in case of lichen studies. So whenever we see the phycobiont and mycobiont member in a lichen, the phycobiont shows the cyanobacteria type of member representative and mycobiont shows the fungi ascomycete representative. So initially the people thought that only ascomycete type of fungi can form association with cyanobacteria to produce lichen. But now it has been discovered that some basidiomycete types of fungi also shows interaction. Means in lichen you will find cyanobacteria type of algae, ascomycete type of fungi and basidiomycete type of fungi. Means fungi and algae are there, but you should know the name of the individual candidate which are present in that lichen. So why they are living together? As we have said, the mutualism. Actually, the algal member, the phycobiont member, the cyanobacteria member produces food material by the process of photosynthesis. The photosynthesis is an action where the light energy is converted into the chemical energy which is used by that organism, as well as that algae provides that food to the fungal member. So that in benefit of the getting food, the fungal member provides the shelter or support, as well as the mycelia of fungi absorbs the food and nutrient from the soil or dead or decaying matter. So the mutualistic relationship is in such a beautiful way that these two organisms are living together, providing something to each other. One thing you should notice here that when algae grow alone, जेव्हा algae एकटी वाढत असते तेव्हा ती जरा वेगळ्या प्रकारची फिजिओलॉजी, वेगळ्या प्रकारची बायोकेमिस्ट्री, वेगळ्या प्रकारचं मॉर्फोलॉजिकल अपीअरन्स शो करते. When algae grow alone, it shows distinct different features, but when it grows in lichen form, it shows some different biochemical, physiological, morphological features. This point is noticeable. So friends, as I have mentioned here, 4 points: introduction, general characters, nature of association and utilization of lichen. Out of them, we have successfully completed our 2 points, which are introduction and general character of lichen. So, friends, I would like to show you one simple documentary type video here behind me. So watch it carefully and enjoy the video with respect to understanding of lichen, how they occur in nature. So, let's begin our video clip.
This woodland is home to a vast array of organisms. It's home to birds, insects, and many different plant species. But what we're looking for lives on this tree. This is a lichen. There's 18,000 species of these strange organisms, and they live on rocks, plants, and in the soil all around the world. But what are they, and why are they important? There's something very unusual about these organisms, and it's not just because they look a little strange. So to find out more, we talked to an expert.
So a lichen is a symbiotic organism that's composed of the fungus, which makes up the body of the lichen and provides kind of the structure and the environmental control for that organism. And then you have the algae, which is responsible for photosynthesis and provides food for the lichen through that process. And then some lichens also have a third partner, which is a cyanobacteria. And that not only provides food through photosynthesis, but also fixes nitrogen in the form of nitrogen gas from the atmosphere into a form that plants and the fungus itself can utilize for growth.
Symbiosis is an intimate biological union between two organisms. This is essentially a gradient with mutualisms at one end and parasitisms at the other. And so, where do lichens fall? Well, it depends on the lichen.
One of my favorite lichenologists was quoted as saying that lichens are fungi that have discovered agriculture. So some people think that the fungus kind of enslaves the algae and uses it and farms it for food, basically. And that would be more of the view of the parasitism. Whereas there's other examples where it's quite clear that both partners in the relationship are gaining benefit, and that would be more of a mutualism.
Now, looking at lichens, you might not think that they're particularly important in the grand scheme of things. Well, it turns out lichens form key roles in ecosystems around the world. First of all, they provide habitat, food, and shelter for a whole array of other organisms. This could be a bird using lichen for a nesting material, or even a home for a very small organism, like a tardigrade. Lichens also act as pioneer species. By colonizing bare rock and through the chemical weathering from the acids they produce, they actually break down the rock and form a soil base. And they also play a role in nutrient cycling. The cyanobacteria in the lichens fix nitrogen, essentially taking nitrogen from the atmosphere and making it available for plants. And this is of course not forgetting their role in carbon capture. But maybe most interesting of all the roles are as environmental monitors.
Different lichens have a different tolerances to air pollution. So some lichens really like nitrogen-rich environments, whereas some lichens are much more sensitive to nutrients in an environment. And so scientists have conducted studies all across the United States, and what they do is they collect data on the number of lichen species and the abundance of lichen species in a given plot, and they know which lichens are indicators of which kind of air quality. And so they can track these plots over large periods of time in large geographical areas and use those lichens as a cheap and effective way to monitor air pollution.
So the next time you're walking through your local green space, take a minute to appreciate these fascinating and vital organisms.
You must have understood and enjoyed this video, I am sure about that. So the lichens are in nomenclature and in identification need to be studied actually by visiting that area. But due to certain conditions we study them in laboratory. So, but due to our pandemic period in year 2020, we have to study lichen in online way. So whatever possible, I am trying to make you easier to understand lichen, and not only to understand lichen but also to enjoy the beauty of nature. मला गॅरंटी की तुमच्या लक्षात आलं असेल की लायकेनचं महत्व काय आहे, लायकेन कुठं बिलॉंग करतात, हॅलोफाइटचा एक मेंबर आहे, जसं आपण क्लासिफिकेशन मध्ये बघितलं मगाशी. त्या लायकेन बद्दल अभ्यास करण्याआधी लायकेन बद्दल जाणून घेतलेले आपण. तो कुठं सापडतो, तो कसा दिसतो, ऍक्च्युअली सिस्टीम कशी आहे. तर ह्या सगळ्या पॉइंट आपण पाहिल्यानंतर पुढच्या मुद्द्याला आपण सुरुवात करणार आहे. त्या पुढच्या लेक्चर मध्ये, तोपर्यंत हा लेक्चर एक दोन वेळा परत बघा, म्हणजे तुमच्या लक्षात येईल की विषय काय चाललेला आहे. ओके, सो थँक्यू फॉर वॉचिंग दिस लेक्चर. इफ यू हॅव एनी क्युरी, कुठलाही प्रॉब्लेम असेल, directly comment on this video in comment section, so it will help me to improve our lectures and give you the distinct point which are necessary for other competitive exams also. फक्त FOI पास होण्यापुरताचा व्हिडिओ नाही हा, आपल्याला याचा उपयोग बाकीच्या स्पर्धा परीक्षांना पण होईल. ओके, थँक्यू. We will meet in our next lecture, that is part 2 of this chapter lichen, which will cover The forms and utilization of lichen.